undisclosed location high in the Hollywood Hills. It's time once again for the long shot. Tonight, J-Man's testicles, pegging, dead steams, clit cleansers, and very special guest Kevin Allison. And now, please welcome the host of the long shot, Sean Conroy.
Thank you so much. Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to the Long Shot Podcast.
And goodbye.
I am your host, Sean Conroy. With me today on the podcast, the vaguest man in the world, James Blam, is here.
I'm kind of everywhere. If you think about it.
The light at the end of the tunnel, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, Miss Amber Kenny is here.
Hello.
And of course, sitting in today with us, guest hosting the podcast, an old friend of the show, Mr. Joe Wagner.
Thank you so much. Again, I'd like to say my Twitter handle is @BrotherWags right out of the gate.
Why did you say again, I'd like to say? Because you just started talking.
Because my
podcast
last
appearance.
appearance,
Last appearance. Okay.
I pushed.
You're presuming that people are going to get your callback.
Oh, and they will, because I have a huge fan base out there within the Low Show.
How many Twitter followers?
I think I got about 2 off of the last appearance. If there's one, might have unfollowed eventually, but that's why I thought
And one was a bot.
Beautiful Brazilian.
We have a lot of web bots that listen to our show.
We've been getting weird emails lately.
Oh my God! I swear every day we get another email from someone who wants to give us $5 million.
So I thought better to promote it at the top of the show, and let's see if I can get 3 or 4. So
Okay.
guys, @BrotherWags on Twitter. Thank you.
Brother
In the
Wags.
spirit of Eddie, who's very...
Eddie's not here today.
No, but he's into Twitter. And
Yeah,
Oh, right. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
and I'm similarly shaped.
And Eddie loves Twisted Tea.
no, he doesn't.
Joe is drinking a half and half twisted tea.
Uh,
Today's show is sponsored by various energy drinks that Joe Wagner has
But that is
consumed
an
in the last
alcoholic
20 minutes.
drink.
Oh, that's an alcoholic
I've
drink.
moved on to alcohol.
Oh shit, really?
That's why I said, oh my god.
It's, by the way, folks, in case you're not aware of when we're recording this show, it's 10:30 on a Sunday morning,
This is not
and Joe Wagner has started drinking alcohol.
It's a malt.
Yeah,
It's a malt beverage, which is like a meal.
Those are horrific. Those are horrific malt beverages like that.
Well, but it tastes like tea,
No, but
and tea is good for you.
It says true iced tea taste.
Yeah, true. When I say give me something honest in my beverage.
On a Sunday morning, I have 2 rules. Rule number 1, half and half twisted tea. Rule number 2, see rule number 1.
I already had a Monster Energy drink and a coffee and a muscle milk.
Muscle milk.
Oh, you're a hero.
Joe, wake up.
I would be crying and throwing up already.
All right, well, let's
That's gonna be my parting shot.
start today. Let's check in a little bit. Let's start today with Amber.
Oh, I knew it. Dang it. Well,
Dang it.
one thing that I was going to bring up, and everyone can chime in on this, I finally saw Eddie's movie last night.
The Bitter Buddha.
So did I. So did Joe.
Yes, I saw it as
3
well.
all saw it.
And you've seen
Yeah.
it in the past.
I have. I saw it. But I saw it on my computer. It's not the same thing.
It was fun because it was a full audience.
By the way, so did Alex. So did Jorge.
Oh, right.
Everyone was
So
there.
did Alex.
I saw it by myself, but I did have a sound effects machine that I played applause and laughed for. I felt it was
You
appropriate.
couldn't hear the next line. It got really annoying. Yeah, everyone loved it. Laughed the whole way. It was a really good movie. But what was surreal, just to talk about my experience,
Sure.
to make it about me, but it is my checking in. Jamie and I were sitting next to each other on the aisle before the movie, and multiple people came up to us and recognized us from the podcast.
Whoa.
What?
Hello,
That's so
minor celebrity.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Hello, one of the lesser princes of Saudi Arabia.
I had no, I don't know. I don't
We
know
have
how to
three-
react. I need to take a class. or
With
something.
gratitude.
I do.
Always with
Are you
gratitude.
making fun of me?
No.
But it's I mean, it is tough to realize that you just don't have any privacy anymore. And that's like
Your
That's-
life Your life is an open book
That's
about
what my checking
menstruation.
in was gonna be. Is that like,
Right.
oh, there's paparazzi.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't say the best part, which is when we got free drinks.
Yes. He wouldn't take no for an answer. He was buying us.
Buying your drinks. Get used to it, my friends. You have started riding the rainbow.
That's right.
By the way, remember he offered us to buy us beers.
And Jamie's like, no, I couldn't possibly. Can I please tell you this?
Sure.
He's like,
It is your checking in.
I couldn't possibly. No. And the guy was very insistent, like, I really want to. And Jamie's like, okay, do they have wine?
Yeah. By the way,
What a douchebag.
I was going to say, I'm not surprised by the selection of wine after he's expressed himself by saying, I couldn't possibly.
I don't know if that might have been my word choice.
No, that's exactly what I said.
Nothing too fruity, like a Cabernet or a Merlot, but no Shiraz, please.
I don't think I could ever see myself accepting this beer. But the wine.
So did he get you a wine?
Yeah, I got one.
That was nice.
One wine.
So nice.
We have nice fans.
So nice.
Did you get that guy's name or number or anything?
Reza.
Reza. He was super. He's
The RZA?
The Jizza, the Wu-Tang Clan in the motherfucking house.
The RZA?
He's a student in Orange County, right?
Yeah. And he's also a killer bee.
What?
Is that a Wu-Tang
That
thing?
was a Wu-Tang reference.
So what else, Amber? Because that was pretty quick.
I
Dang
also had a really good taco yesterday. I'm just kidding. Sean's gonna kill me.
Tacos are really good.
Oh man, there's this stand.
Joe, that's not why you're here. Stop it right now. Amber, go on.
I had on Tuesday. I had a sketch showcase for my
Yes.
sketch team.
Showcase for who?
I don't know. I don't understand things.
Guys, it's going to be great. It's going to be a showcase. What does that mean?
Well, they said it was an industry showcase, but I still don't think that means anything. And I was the one person in our team, like, when we were meeting about it, like, okay, yeah, we gotta prep for the showcase. And I finally, like, raised my hand meekly, and I said, this might be a dumb question, but why are we doing this? I don't understand. And they're like, to get out there. They kind of gave a vague answer. But,
Because IO needs more money in its coffers. Therefore, they're forcing their sketch teams to perform more often.
Yeah, twice this week. I have
And
another
it's
show
a
tonight.
showcase, so get your friends to come because you don't want to have industry show up and not have an audience.
I will say it was a packed audience, and it was all 4 teams, and we don't usually all play together, and it was a really fun night of sketch comedy.
It was a fun
I'm
night of
grossing
sketch
myself
comedy.
out.
It was a fun night of sketch comedy, folks. So come on down. Come on down to IO West on Hollywood Boulevard if you want to have a fun night of sketch comedy. A few people doing some make-em-ups and some characters.
And I know I've talked about this before, but being backstage during a sketch show is the best because it's so silly. Like, we're all adults, and everyone's like, "Oh, where's my fake blood?"
Chaotic,
And
right,
like,
running
my
around.
chicken head, and
So it's just
so
frantic the whole
silly.
time?
No, but there's just so much silly shit going on that
Right.
people are taking seriously.
You know, one thing I always think about when I hear about like a backstage a show, a sketch show particularly, is how sometimes people have to make quick changes,
Yeah,
and so
I don't do that.
right, yes.
I don't do
Amber and I were talking about this recently. Where Amber, in her sketch shows, if she can get away with just wearing a sports blazer for the whole
An
show,
unflattering sports blazer. Are you okay, Sean?
No, not at all.
Sean's doing stuff up.
No, I tried to not do costume changes because I'm lazy, and also I would like to think that my acting should do the work.
I think that's why I stopped doing sketch comedy.
Because of costume changes?
Yeah, well, and because you always have to transport the shit.
Oh
you know?
my god.
I've talked about this before, but when I used to do
Right.
sketch shows, just me and Eddie, I would, we'd have all these props and costumes and whatever, and he wasn't going to carry them or do anything with them or bring them anywhere, so I would end up carrying 2 huge 50-pound bags of props every time we went somewhere, while he showed up late and strolled into the script in his hand trying to memorize his lines.
What I always think about is that if you do transport them in the trunk of your car or backseat of your car, like for years I drove around with 7 pretty realistic looking fake guns in the trunk of my car. bags of wigs.
Right? You look like a bank robber.
course.
Sir, you know why I pulled you over?
Well,
Are you a serial killer?
holding up the giant black dildo that I had used in the show a week before? And I always remember thinking, if you're in sketch and you have those things, and particularly the giant black dildo, if you got into a car accident, God forbid, and it was, I mean, something really awful where, like, you die, and then at
Keep
some
going.
point,
I like the story so
at
far.
some point, whatever your personal effects in the car would, I imagine, hopefully would be given to the next of kin or something. Like, if my mom and aunt had been given the contents of my car,
Here's
They would have been
the
horrified.
they would have been like, what was he doing?
here's the contents of the car. There was a giant black dildo, but it was partially destroyed, so we had it put down.
They
Badly damaged.
give them a charred black dildo. Oh my god! But yeah, that is something. That's just one of those things about sketch comedy. You have to. It's like you have to be. It's
It's
like
a lifestyle.
It's like traveling theater.
It's a lifestyle.
It is a lifestyle.
Gypsies, vagabonds, and thieves.
Well, we're going to Seattle at the beginning of October, and I know one of the sketches we want to do has like a cap gun in it. And I just was thinking about, like, how are we going to get a gun
Just
on an
pack it in your
airplane? Like,
Put it in your
would
luggage.
hang it around your neck.
with a badge.
Yeah.
My uncle used to work security for a jewelry company, so he would transport like incredibly
Gems.
valuable gems
Right.
all over the world. So he'd have to just get on a plane and fly to Russia to
Would
drop
he
off.
handcuff it to his wrist?
No.
Man.
But he once was on a flight and he realized, like, this was after 9/11. He was halfway to Europe and he realized that he had his gun under his arm. Like, he had not taken it off.
Right.
Like, he was just exhausted. He
Right.
was taking another trip and come
Right.
in and
Absent
right back
minded.
out again. And he forgot to take it off. And so when he landed, he had to go to the airport authorities and say, you know, I did this, whatever, and register it and everything. But it's like, it was like,
How did he get through?
just walk through.
Are you
See,
kidding
that's
me?
a-
That security is airtight, Jamie. There's no loophole.
I thought it was creepy.
That just happened to me because I traveled recently, and that just happened
With
to me,
your
not
gun.
with a gun,
Oh.
not with a gun, but
You left your gun.
my
You left your-
crossbow.
Yeah.
No, that happened to me where I got back to LA about 3 days ago. I had taken a jacket with me, and as I get out of LAX, I was looking for some gum in the jacket, and I put my hand in one of the pockets, and I pull out this little plastic bag, and it was a pot cookie that I had gotten earlier and put in that jacket, and completely forgotten about, and the thing had completely disintegrated into like a pile of like chocolate
Crumbs.
dust. And I thought if they had just picked that out, just randomly out of my jacket or something, and been like, "Sir, what is this little plastic bag with a sticker of a strawberry and this like brown powder?" It was so odd, but I had totally forgotten about it. And I think that happens a lot.
That's
too.
the same as carrying a gun on the plane.
Well, but I'm just saying it was drugs. There were
Right, right.
drugs.
Yeah.
There were drugs.
I like to think that you stow different drugs in different pockets of all your clothes.
Well, that's the new thing now. Is like a guy who smokes a lot of weed. Whenever I travel, I have to check every pocket of a bag or whatever because I'm afraid like you have a joint in there that you totally forgot about, and then what are you gonna do?
Mr. Wagner, will you come with us, please? We are going to do a hard cavity search.
I'll be like, well, I have this big black dildo. You want to
We'll
take
be
that?
searching your ass and all your teeth. All right, Jamie.
All right, let's check in.
Thank you.
Thank you. This week,
No, thank you.
so at my job,
Where you work at the.
Or is it a week you could say it?
let's just keep to the conventions of.
I'm going to say more than usual, but less than the full thing.
Fine. So I work at this comedy place, and a bunch of the shows there are what we call promoter shows, meaning someone else is promoting the show. And for most of these shows,
There are shows where the club is absolving itself of any responsibility.
Basically,
for
like,
getting
yeah, like
everything in there.
renting it out,
Yeah.
kind of.
well, yeah, they're relying
It's like a
on someone else.
VFW hall.
No, where old soldiers go to die and drink.
Oh.
But promoter shows, they could be great or they could be terrible. depending on who's promoting
Or
it.
just okay.
None of
Oh,
them.
just-
No, not a possibility. They're never just okay. They're either a train wreck or a fucking field goal.
Usually the promoter will book a host and 3 comics, and then I'll book the other 3 comics. In some cases, I book no comics for the really good shows, and
I've
some,
had that happen to me.
Right. Or you'll throw in a couple entities.
a couple entities.
Right.
And in some cases, like a show earlier this
Joe's
week,
just throwing jargon.
I think the hard lemonade is hitting him.
Those are my low show. Hey, those are the low show. My low show fans.
He's
they
just
know.
making references.
They know what I'm talking about.
Animal Bank, Animal Bank.
I know that you understand me out there.
Go ahead, Jamie.
so there's a show this past week. It's a promoter show, and kind of the sometimes shitty part is that they will book people they're trading spots with. And I'm really trying to police that. Like, the quality of what goes on the stage should be top of the line. So the guy that has been booking the show for months and months has booked shittier and shittier people to the point where we were like, you don't get to book anyone anymore. We'll still put you up. You still have to promote the show.
Why not just sever the ties altogether?
I wish we
That
had.
means they would have to do the work.
Oh, and probably okay.
No, I mean, because in the past he's brought a lot of people, which is a good thing for them because
Cha-ching,
they want to make money.
cha-ching, cha-ching.
So I booked the entire lineup, and it was a really good lineup. But I started getting emails from him earlier that day that he was really unhappy with the lineup, and I ignored it because that's not his place to make the lineup. And I only gave him 10 minutes in the show. He wants 30 minutes.
It's 30 minutes in LA.
Definitely.
Louis CK.
Yeah. So anyway, long story short, I knew that he was mad. I started getting emails from the managers, and they said that he was there and he wanted to see me. I finally showed up at 10:30, and I get confronted by him, and I ended up having like a 30-minute conversation with him in the parking lot. He was
He
not
got his
happy.
30 minutes.
He did get his 30 minutes.
Was he trying new material?
What about this, Jamie? What about dating is hard? Black people and white people, it's so different.
Politics.
Mitt Romney has Barack Obama.
That would have been good.
Did I steal that?
Yeah.
But he was fucking livid, and it was very much a confrontation. And at first I was trying to like really kind of just tell him that I'm artist friendly and I understand where he's coming from. And
You've become a corporate monster.
Artist friendly.
what's
Let me
corporate art?
explain to you. I am artist friendly.
What's funny is I probably did sound like that at first.
I think you're a human being.
We're looking for upward integration and mobilization throughout various platforms. Okay.
Did he respond to that approach?
No,
No.
he
What
got
happened?
more.
He's not
angry
an
more
artist. He's not an artist.
He started.
He's not friendly, that's for sure.
He was not friendly at all. But he started calling out the people that I booked, who I won't tell you who I booked with. They were good people. He
What night was it?
What's the venue?
But I noticed, like 4 or 5 minutes into it, that one of the door guys, the security guys, was hovering, and it didn't occur to me until the next day that guy was there just in case.
That guy punched you.
Yeah,
Did it occur to you at all that it was weird that a human being was hovering?
a little bit. But that's how my brain works. It doesn't process things.
How high off the ground was he?
So what was the resolution?
There was no resolution. He just left mad. But
Did he do his own show?
he went up, and I heard he didn't do very well.
Ah, fuck him.
It happened.
This sounds like a negative energy,
It was a very negative ending. But to me, it was just so crazy to
And
be
he was
like,
like talking smack on the comics that you did book.
I
yeah.
don't like people.
Oh,
Well, he-
Sean.
His definition is like you book all these people that are like alternative and they do all these babies or these jokes about like throwing babies. He said it like 4 times over the course of the 30
Who
minutes.
does a joke? I've never heard a throwing baby joke.
That was like his.
I have a throwing babies joke.
Oh, yeah. It's good, though.
It's about an Olympic event, and it's about how black babies go farther than white babies.
Jesus.
I have a
Men and women are different.
I have I have a launching toddlers bit.
Well, that's different.
That's called
nuanced.
parallel thought, so it's not really the same bit.
You stole that from my propelling infants.
Slinging tykes.
Catapulting tots.
Can't think of one damn fucking word to throw.
All right, so Jamie, what's the upshot of the whole thing?
The upshot was maybe
You never felt physically threatened until the next day you woke up shaking because you realized that somebody had been there the whole time in case something happened.
Well, it was just this realization that I work in this place where people get heated, and just realizing that every single day of my life I'm dealing with people, their egos, and
But you're artist friendly. So.
But you know, I think I have a solution for this. And we were just talking about the proliferation of fake guns in sketch comedy. Just stick a fake gun in your pants, dude. Just have it like a
That would be
gangbanger.
awesome if word got out that Jamie has started packing
Yeah,
heat.
that he's just strapped every
He
night.
becomes like the godfather
that's
of.
hilarious.
Do
Yes.
not fuck with him. He will
Right.
shoot you in the
When
face.
you're saying to someone, I'm artist friendly, and they can see the holster.
Oh man,
Of
that's
your
so
gun.
badass. I bet less people would ask you for spots.
Yeah, there you go.
You're
That
right.
is because that's like a throwback to nightclub
Yeah.
owners from like the 70s.
Right.
You
Right.
might get arrested.
They're always like crazy dudes who are ready to kill people, and they had ties to the mafia. You know,
Right.
It'd be
It was a
awesome.
better time.
It would change everything about my existence. There you go.
I'm doing the maculata, and I'm also taking shooting lessons.
Speaking of which, I didn't know that in the Bitter Buddha there's a sequence where you and Eddie and
Andy Secunda.
Andy Secunda went to a shooting range,
Yes.
firing range. Or do you do that? Is that something you like to do?
Yes.
Cool story.
You can't see this right now, but Sean is holding a gun and it is pointed right at me.
No, I find it fun. I like shooting skeet like that. You know?
Is it? And Eddie actually shot. He shot one like he. What
Yeah,
is it
oh,
called?
yeah.
Like when you hit
Hit
it,
the target.
he hit this skeet.
Yeah. Boom. It's called a kaboom. He had 5 kabooms.
He had 5 kabooms.
He got one life out.
No, it is a really
I've had 3
funny
kabooms
scene.
this morning.
It is a really funny scene to me because they make such a big deal about gun safety. Of course they do. You know, because you're dealing with
Yes,
people
this
who've
is the
never
funniest part.
who've never held a gun before, and they're
Right.
like
Right.
always pointed at the ground or at the sky. Never
Right.
pointed anywhere near anybody where it could go off.
Right.
And then in the movie, folks, and you should see the movie because it's wonderful. Some people think it's Academy Award nominee quality. I believe that I should be nominated for Best Supporting Actor in a Documentary. But
Touchdown.
in the movie, you know, after they don't show the guy explaining to us very hardcore like how to do this. But you just see Eddie, and not only is he waving the gun around in
It's
people's faces,
ridiculous.
but he has his finger on the trigger the
Oh
whole
my
time.
god. Oh my god.
It's crazy.
He was a little like Donald Ducky almost. It was
And you
cartoonish.
don't see this in the movie, but you know, it was the first time he'd ever done it, so he wasn't good. So I just kept telling him the whole time that if it was a zombie apocalypse, he would not get the shotgun. And he was getting really mad about that. Joe, what's going on with you?
Well,
Besides drinking
besides
malt
drinking
liquor at
10:30
10:30 in the morning.
Oh, now I feel like maybe we should talk about that. 'Cause that could
The
be a-
show just got sad.
That could be a serious issue.
No, I wish you had told me. I would have gotten some Four Loko.
I almost got the 4 Loko, but then I was like, I want to be responsible.
Well, you already had enough.
Jamie has started drinking
Yeah, now
Joe's
Jamie's
malt liquor
drinking
at
my-
10:30
There
in the
goes
morning.
the
And he
immaculata.
would be doing
I don't mind
backflips
that.
right now if he was slightly more athletic. And here.
I was away recently, which was the reason why I was not able to participate, and I was very sad about this in the 100th show. And
Yes.
allow me to take this opportunity to congratulate you guys on 100
Thank you.
episodes.
We wanted you to be our
Thanks,
guest
Joe.
on the 100th episode.
I know, and you and I talked about it, and I was like, "Oh, is it happening this time?" And you said yes, and I'm like, "Oh, this is terrible. I'm away." But I did. I watched. I looked at the pictures online. I listened to it already. I would like to say that I think you guys should do another
100th
show like
episode?
that. No, do not make it to 200, please. But I think you guys should do another in studio. Like the live shows are great.
Like a KCRW kind of thing where we have a live studio audience.
I liked it as well.
I thought it was really cool, and I know from having spoken to some of the people that were there that night, fans of the show, that they really, really enjoyed it, and it was like a really special experience for them to see it, and kind of surreal because people they listen to it and then. And my friend, shout out to Om76 on Twitter. She's a huge fan of the show. She was like,
get with the Twitter.
She was telling me that she had a hard time stopping herself from talking back to